So it's Friday afternoon, and the students are getting ready. We're going to have our final lunch together. They're all packing up because this is the final week of school, so they're all getting ready to head back home and out to the ministries where God's calling them. And so bittersweet goodbye as usual, to say goodbye to them, and I'll head back pretty soon to the U.S. But it's been such a blessing to get to know each one of them, and I'm sure I'll see them and stay in touch in the future. Last night was pretty cool. On the way back from the conference, I had to take a train, and the train station here is very complicated. I had to make 3 connections on the way to Amsterdam, and I almost missed one of the trains. It was very close, and so on the way home, I had no internet connection, and I didn't have anyone to ask, so I thought, there's no way I'll ever make it back to the Bible school train station. But the first train I missed, and I waited for the next one, and I was walking around the station looking for someone to help me out. And I began to talk to a man who spoke English and showed him my directions and asked him for help of how to translate it. And he said, well, you know what, why don't we go together, and I'll stop at the train station where I'm planning to go, and my car's there, and I'll just drive you back to the Bible school. And so I said, okay. And I said, you don't have to do that. He said, no, I want to. And so I asked him why he was in Amsterdam, and he had actually been at the same conference I was at. And so we found out that we were brothers in the Lord, and so we had a long ride home on the train and in his car, and he was just disgusting. He came out of a real traditional church here, was born again, and has a totally different theology background, and so the evangelistic message and some of those things was kind of out of the comfort zone for him, especially the culture of the conference. But we just shared for a couple hours on the way home all these stories of how God had moved in our lives. He was sharing about how just divine appointments and things that he had done in other countries, and it was really, really beautiful time of fellowship. And so I told him he's like an angel sent to me, because I don't think I would have ever been able to make it back, and I didn't have a phone connection. I couldn't have called anybody, and so it was so amazing that God sent him, and we exchanged connections, and we're going to stay in contact. It was a real blessing, and so I'm really grateful. I'm getting prepared now to be ready to speak at the Philadelphia Conference. I'll be speaking once tonight and twice tomorrow, and so getting those final preparations together, and we're looking forward to a great conference with the part-time Bible school students. And so it's a beautiful day here, and God's been good.
To be perfect, and we can, and so God sent His Son Jesus to live a perfect life and died on the cross for us. So, but it says all we need to do is just cry out to the Lord and confess our sins and ask Him forgiveness and believe, and that we can be born again. And that's an experience that we've all had in our lives that transformed our lives from where I used to be a very different person. You would not have liked me. You might not like me now, but you wouldn't have liked me. I was a criminal. I was a thief. I was a drug addict, and there was a transformation that took place that was a spiritual transformation. And what we believe the Bible teaches is that that's the only way to get to heaven when we die. That when we die, we're going to stand before God, and if we don't have the blood of His Son covering us, then there's no way. So.
It's Saturday morning, and last night we started the Philadelphia Bible School Conference for the weekend. About 80 students come in from all around the country. Many of them will stay there for the weekend, and they have a lot of activities, prayer, worship services, and fellowship, accountability groups, all kinds of things happening. And so last night was the introductory message, and so I preached this message on the calling of a disciple, and sometimes I really get a sense of what the Lord wants to do in a message. But yesterday I just thought, well, I'll preach this and I'll pray. I didn't feel like anything significant would happen. And the Lord really surprised us, because at the end, as we were praying, the presence of the Lord came into the room, and I really had a sense that God was working on people's hearts. He was really inviting them to go deeper. And so we spent some time seeking the Lord and searching our hearts. And afterwards, several of the students came and shared about some pretty significant breakthroughs that took place in their lives. And I'm really grateful for that and excited to see God work. And I love it when He surprises you in a good way. And so getting ready in just a little bit, I'll be doing session number 2 on the work of a disciple, which is going to talk about evangelism, testifying, and also do some evangelism, equipping, and training. And so I'm always excited. I love doing that. So that's always something to look forward to. So it's going to be a great morning. And then we'll have some activities throughout the day. And then tonight we'll close out the conference. I'll close out my part of the conference, and then someone else will be speaking the final message tomorrow. So just really grateful to see the Lord working. There's no greater joy than seeing God work in the lives of people. So it's been an amazing time.